mean, the reason why I feel that SP for me is an ideology match is because it is a socialist party which has given help to the downtrodden, and therefore, for me to align with them, it's easier. I've got easier access to the political system there. 2015 से लेके 2023 तक, the number of workers which have employed in the informal sector has dropped by 16.5 lakh. Today, a lot of jobs are also going to be lost, because of artificial intelligence.
Absolutely.
My thought process is that AI is definitely going to come, and instead of us worrying about AI, we should use AI as an effective tool to increase productivity. That you brace it for improving output, for getting better quality. Youth, tourism, infra, and institutions like the RBI have done a stupendous job. And if we promote and ensure that the equilibrium maintains, then this country will grow faster, grow more, and the people will be happy. Again, of course, it is the responsibility of the government of the day, but it is collective responsibility. We all need to play our parts.
Welcome to the Statesman Talk. I'm your host, Anna Chaudhary. We have a very special guest with us here today. We have Mr. Nasser Salim, who is the spokesperson and a member of the Manifesto Committee in the Samajwadi Party. He is also a former banker and runs a successful wealth management practice in India. Mr. Salim, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you very much, Anna. It's been a real delight, and I'm hoping for a great discussion today.
Absolutely.
With the Statesman. Thank you very much.
Could you please tell us about your interest in finance? Where did that start? A little bit about your background?
Right, sure. So, finance came to me by the way. Mm-hmm. It's not something which I kind of thought that I will do in my career. But I would thank my erstwhile institution, which is a great platform, Citibank. And I had the opportunity to work with them out of my campus placement. And it was a great institution, taught me finance, and therefore I got into banking and, started a great career, hopefully, if I can say so now. It was, I think one of the few things that, when you learn in finance is when you work with a good team. And a team is what defines the leadership. Mm-hmm. And I think that was something which helped me a lot, working with bright minds, like-minded people, and a lot of gusto, that they bring in and that we all did contribute. And I think that there is a Citibanker in everyone's livelihood and households. That's the way I would say it.
Absolutely. It's finance is an essential part of everyone's daily life, whether you like it or not.
Absolutely. And more so if you start your career with Citi.
All right. So tell us about your background growing up. You come from the Imam family of Lucknow. And how was it growing up as someone who had an inkling with politics?
Okay, so I'll like to clarify a small point there, Anna. My maternal side is basically from the Imam family, which was from Bihar, in Patna. Mm-hmm. Of course, और लखनऊ और पटना की तो एक बहुत पुरानी दोस्ती है
जी बिल्कुल
तो मगर हम लोग पटना से हैं ओरिजिनली my ननिहाल my maternal side but my paternal side also comes from आजकल वो ताबू है ये वर्ड बोलना but ज़मींदार
जी
और मेरे so my background you rightly said Nanial is from Bihar. My great grandfather was Sir Ali Imam, who was knighted by the British then. Knight Commander Star of India, amongst the very few titles who got them in that time in the 1910 and 11. Mm-hmm. And he was also responsible for the constitution of Bihar.
Wow,
or the statehood of Bihar, if I can say so. Mm-hmm. Yes, and then the legacy continues from there.
You're taking it forward.
Well, I don't know if I can take it forward, to be honest. But at least I can try to aspirationally get there.
Absolutely.
And that is what I'm trying to achieve. And my paternal side comes from a family from Sheikhupur Badaयूं, which is basically Western UP. Mm-hmm. And, my great-grandfather was the Nawab of what we call in the British time the Nabobs, but actually the Nawab of Sheikhupur. और हम लोग की रियासत वहाँ से है
जी
और तो एक बहुत अच्छा कॉम्बिनेशन है बिहार का और यूपी का और बिहारी और यूपी वाले का so I think that is that and we've always been in in the legislative powers and in the executive powers that the government, that the country has given us. So, like my grandmother continued from my great grandfather, was Begum Aziza Imam. She was a member of parliament for almost 2 terms, 13 years. And mashallah, she did really well. And my great grandfather, Sayyid Muhammad in Badaयूं, was the first one to raise a flag against the British rule.
Wow, okay.
And he was the district president of Badaयूं. पहले डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्रेसिडेंट थे कांग्रेस के वो
जी
बदायूं से. तो एक लेगेसी है जो हम लोग कोशिश कर रहे हैं उसको थोड़ी मेंटेन करने की इन माय ओन लिमिटेड कैपेसिटी, बिकॉज आई एम एट द एंड ऑफ द डे अ प्रोफेशनल.
Absolutely.
But it's a good combination that I'd like to follow, and I've grown up in that environment, and hopefully this will continue to build.
So, continuing from there, how come politics? What made you follow politics after finance? Because a lot of professionals, especially finance professionals, tend to stay away from politics and everything to do with it altogether.
नहीं, बिल्कुल सही कहा आपने. I think you're right. You see, there is this myth that how can, as a financial guy, or just as a professional, how can you get into politics? But I think it's very what should I say? And it's very suitable kind of a situation, suitable to some, unsuitable to a few.
Yeah.
As a lawyer, for example, nobody asks a lawyer कि आप राजनीति पे कैसे हैं.
जी.
मगर अगर आप एक बैंकर हैं, या बैंकर नहीं तो अगर आप एक फाइनेंशियल डोमेन में काम करते हैं, या आप एक एडवाइज़र हैं, या आप एक डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर हैं फाइनेंशियल प्रोडक्ट्स के, और अगर आप किसी को उसकी फाइनेंशियल जर्नी में हेल्प करते हैं, तो वो कहते हैं अरे आप पॉलिटिक्स में क्या कर रहे हैं. तो मेरे ख्याल से एक तो ये मिथ है, तो इसको दूर करना ज़रूरी है थोड़ा सा. वी हैव टू क्लैरिफाई that if professionals like lawyers and even doctors now are getting into politics, and why not corporate people? और मेरा ये मानना है कि कॉर्पोरेट से जो मैंने एक्सपीरियंसेस जो मैंने अपनी in my personal capacity that I learnt, can I use those experiences to benefit my country? I don't know whether it's politics or not, but can I use those inputs for the betterment of the nation? देखिए मेरे लिए सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ ये है कि मैं एक हिंदुस्तानी और एक बहुत प्राउड हिंदुस्तानी हूँ
जी.
और मैं चाहता हूँ कि अगर मैं मेरा जो वतन है, अगर इसको मैं कुछ अपने प्रोफेशनल एक्सपीरियंसेस से कुछ कंट्रीब्यूट कर पाऊँ पॉजिटिवली, सो व्हाई नॉट. सो मेरा सवाल जब भी आप जैसे लोग मुझसे पूछते हैं, पत्रकार पूछते हैं, लॉट ऑफ मीडिया पीपल आस्क मी दिस, सो माय फर्स्ट थिंग इज, अगर एक वकील, इफ अ लॉयर कैन बिकम अ सो कॉल्ड एन एक्टिविस्ट और अ पॉलिटिशियन, I'm not a politician, but I want to contribute towards the betterment of my country and of people living in my country. And if I can make that impact by clearly contributing from what I bring to the table from my professional experience, then I think I can add some little bit of value in my own space.
And that's so true, actually. If you look at the scenario, what's been happening over the past, say, 10, 15 years, India has changed drastically, especially the economy, the political structures, the media structures, everything has really rapidly changed. Could you talk a little about that? What's your view on what's been happening, the current trends in the past, say, 10 years?
देखिए Anna, I would like to start by saying that I would say that, it's not only in the last 10 years. I would say, we've been a part of a set of people where we keep blaming one party and the other.
True.
India is a great ecosystem. It has talent. It has a very beautiful youth. It has its own culture. डाइवर्सिटी है, इतनी सारी लैंग्वेजेस हैं, एंड इट को एग्जिस्ट्स. और ये पिछले सदियों से चला आ रहा है, ये कुछ पिछले 10-15 साल की बात नहीं है
जी.
जो एक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नाम की चीज़ जिसके बारे में मैं थोड़ा बोलना चाहूँगा, कि अगर हम एक लीडरशिप रोल में किसी में एक सेक्टर में हैं या पॉलिटिक्स में हैं, तो आई थिंक वन ऑफ द फ्यू फैक्ट्स that we need to pay attention is, what are we communicating to the younger
generation?
Yeah. as a nation, we have all the qualities and we're doing well in many ways, right? When
Could
I
you
look
talk
at
a little about that? Sorry, I'm going to interject you
Yes.
here. Could you tell us a little about the ways that you think India is doing well,
of course,
especially with a focus on the finance and GDP and economic aspect of things?
देखिए, I think India has, so this is a longer discussion and it's a very long discussion, but I would like to touch upon a few things.
Sure.
There is a lot of push towards infrastructure, and it has happened not only in the last 10 years, it has been happening over the last many, many years. And that push is contiguous, it continues, and we can see that, whether it's the form of metros, infra, as far as airports are concerned,
Highways.
ports. Can we do more? We can do better. There's always scope for improvement.
Of course.
बट ऐसा नहीं है कि पिछले 10 साल या 15 साल या 20 साल में मेरा ये मानना है कि पिछले 20-25 सालों में बहुत इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट हुई है, जिसमें मैंने पार्टिसिपेट किया, बिकॉज आई सीन इट इन पढ़ने से पार्टिसिपेट, आई मीन आई यूज देम, राइट? So that's one good positive. The second thing is, I think the youth of this country is finally talking. That it's taking shape. There is a voice. जो पहले यूथ, देखिए हम लोग की जो एक हिस्ट्री रही है कि वी हैव बीन प्रोटेस्टर्स एंड इन अ गुड वे, बिकॉज थ्रू प्रोटेस्ट it's a great platform to share ideas, and then you something beautiful comes out of it, mostly evolves, right? And I'm not talking about negative protests, I'm talking about positive building nation protests. I think this youth is now coming into its own in terms of economic indicators. If you see consumption, today the aspiration of the youth is unmatched. इसीलिए दुनिया भर के लोग इंडिया पे फोकस कर रहे हैं.
जी, we have the largest youth
Largest
population,
working population.
Working population.
और जापान देख लें आप, कई और देश देख लें, many other countries you see, the working population is aging there. In our case, it is taking off.
Absolutely.
So that's another big benefit. The third thing I would say is that from a larger macro perspective, I think some of the institutions have done a beautiful job in our country. For example, the RBI, the Reserve Bank of India has done a wonderful job. आप पूछिए क्यों? जब कोविड आया था, they were very quick in action. We gave loans which were given out by bankers. उस पर moratorium announce हुआ कि you don't have to pay interest. Interest rate cuts हुए because आपको there was interest servicing that had to be done. People had borrowed money. तो interest cost कम किया. इंटरेस्ट रेट्स जो हैं कम किए आपने. मेरा ये मानना है कि जो PSU बैंक्स हैं, जैसे स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहा है आजकल. जो बैंकिंग एंड फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज है, वो एक डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट ट्रांसफर्स की जो बात हो रही है, आज अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल हैव ओपन्ड मेनी मोर बैंक अकाउंट्स. तो और इसकी जो भागीदारी सब है, इसमें कांग्रेस की सरकार ने भी काम किया, बीजेपी ने भी उसको आगे बढ़ाया. तो मतलब अगर आप मुझसे पूछें, और एसपी एज एन एसपी स्पोक्सपर्सन मैं आपको बोलूँगा, हम लोगों ने भी उसमें बहुत काम किया 2012 और 17 में जो हमारी सरकार थी. तो सबने काम करके इसमें कंट्रीब्यूट किया. तो एक, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, और चौथी चीज़ जिस पे मैं ज़रूर बोलना चाहूँगा वो ये है कि आई थिंक जिस हिसाब से अब, और ख़ास करके पिछले 20-25 सालों से हमने जो टूरिज़्म बूस्ट देने की कोशिश करी है इंडिया में, वो बहुत ज़रूरी है. लखनऊ आगरा एक्सप्रेसवे जैसे यूपी में 2014-15 में उसका 15 में उसकी कंप्लीशन हुई, 15 इंडिया 16 में कंप्लीशन हुई. और वो कनेक्टिविटी उसने जोड़ दी. जो चीज़ आप 10-12 घंटे में करते थे, आज वो आप 6 घंटे में कर लेते हैं दिल्ली से लखनऊ. जी हाँ. कांग्रेस के टाइम मेट्रोज बने. समाजवादी पार्टी की सरकार में जब हमारे अखिलेश यादव जी मुख्यमंत्री थे, तो उन्होंने इसको आगे बढ़ावा दिया, मेट्रो लखनऊ में लाए, यूपी में इंट्रोड्यूस किया. थर्मल पावर प्लांट्स थे, वो बने ललितपुर में, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल मैं आपको बताऊं. तो टूरिज्म को भी एक बूस्ट मिला. और हमारा ये मानना है कि ये जो 3-4 थिंग्स है ना, यूथ, टूरिज्म, इंफ्रा and institutions like the RBI have done a stupendous job. And if we promote and ensure that the equilibrium maintains, then this country will grow faster, grow more, and the people will be happy. So I think these are some of the things that I feel passionate about. जहाँ तक इकोनॉमी का सवाल है, देखिए बहुत सारे व्यूज़ हैं. जीडीपी में चेंज कर दिया फॉर्मूला कैलकुलेशन का, एक आरोप ये भी लगता है आज की सरकारों पे. मगर जो एक एज अ बैंकर, इफ यू आस्क मी, एज अ प्रोफेशनल रादर, इफ यू आस्क मी, आई वुड सी दैट इंडिया इज गोइंग थ्रू अ के रिकवरी, which basically means that the divide between India is growing in two parts. One is hyper growth, which is India. The other one is Bharat, which is also inching. Tier 2, Tier 3 cities में अब activity हो रही है, development शुरू हो रही है. मगर जो पिछड़ा है, जो गरीब है, सवाल ये है, the question is, are we reaching the last mile?
Absolutely.
Is the last man standing in the line getting the benefits of what the very, very ultra HNI space are getting?
Yeah.
And that will never happen, obviously, because there'll always be a huge difference. But the divide has increased now. And that is, as a responsible citizen of this country, and for all of us, it is to see how we can reduce that divide.
How would you say a common person can actually do that? Isn't that the government's job? How do you think we as individuals can actually contribute to that?
So, Anna, I have my view on this is that I'm trying to bring in my own set of contributions. I'm a commoner, and thus I want to bring in a change. What do? I have joined the platform is to join a political party in this case. That's my view. It could be different for you, it could be different for anybody else. But my view is that if I join up with a political party, can I give in my suggestions? Can I get more youth involved? Can I use my resources to help the last man standing to meet me, for example? Can I help him in some way? And it's not about just political systems. It is also about what you can do one maybe hour in a week as individuals. आप अपने आसपास देखिए, जो सबसे गरीब महिला है या एक सबसे गरीब फैमिली से आता है, आपका हो सकता है आपका ड्राइवर का कोई रिश्तेदार हो, आपके घर में मेड है, हो सकता है उनका कोई रिश्तेदार हो. अगर आपने कहीं ना कहीं उनकी हेल्प कर दी, मदद कर दी, और आपने उनको थोड़ी सी डायरेक्शन दे दी, तो वो खुश हो जाएंगे और आपने अपना पार्ट प्ले किया.
जी.
तो माई पॉइंट टू यू इज दैट इफ यू have an objective and a mind to help someone, you can do it in any platform. I am doing it through a political system, but you don't need to be part of a political system. You can do it through, the reason why I feel that SP for me is an ideology match is because it is a socialist party which has given help to the downtrodden. And therefore, for me to align with them, maybe
much easier, natural.
It's easier. I've got easier access to the political system there, and this can be. You can have access to another political party. You can be comfortable with them, as long as building nation or nation building is the core objective, and helping people who have been undeserved, who have been deprived. Pardon me. As long as you're helping them, the end objective is met. Will be met.
But what do you think that the government is doing in that aspect over the past few years? How do you think that the government can actually improve on that? Especially, I'm going to ask you this because you come from a financial space. So, what are the solutions that the government can actually undertake?
देखिए, दो तीन चीजें हैं. नहीं, बिल्कुल. See, I'll tell you. So, there are 3-4 things that I like to tell you, and where I think the government can definitely work better. And these are suggestions which we like to give all the time. See, inflation is something which is a big challenge.
Yeah.
Now, people who are on this, people who come from a certain level of income, there are 3 main essential items which govern CPI. CPI in this case is consumer price inflation. And I call it the top model. The top model is tomatoes, onion and potatoes.
जिससे पूरी पॉलिटिक्स चलती है.
जिससे पूरी राजनीति चलती है.
जी.
और अगर आप पिछले 10 साल के प्राइस में आप देखें, ये जो टॉप हैं चीज़ें हैं, टॉप की चीज़ें मतलब टोमेटो, अनियन एंड पोटैटोज, इन पे आप देखें तो, और ये एक बहुत बड़ा हिस्सा है स्टेपल डाइट का, एक कंजम्पशन का।
जी,
और हमारा ये मानना है कि अगर आपने इनमें एक बैलेंस या इक्विलिब्रियम ले आए प्राइस इन्फ्लेशन में, कि ये इतना प्राइस ना बढ़े, और इसका रीज़न है ना, ये नहीं है कि मैं आपको आके कह रहा हूँ कि भाई टोमेटो अनियन एंड यू नो these three cannot be controlled because the prices are, they'll just keep shooting up. There is a methodology.
okay,
You ensure that these prices are in control. That's number one. How ensure that you have cold storage facilities? They are highly degradable. So खराब जल्दी हो जाते
जी,
हैं, खास करके पोटैटोज। तो अगर आपने अपनी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन सिस्टम को और ठीक कर दिया, सप्लाई चेन को और बेहतर कर दिया, कोल्ड स्टोरेज कर दिया, जो पेस्टिसाइड्स हैं और जो इरिगेशन फैसिलिटीज़ जाती हैं इन तीनों को ग्रो करने के लिए, टोमेटो अनियन पोटैटोज़ को, वो आपने उस पर थोड़ा प्राइस और थोड़ा आपने सब्सिडी दे दिया अपने फार्मर को, तो बहुत जल्दी आप देखेंगे इसमें प्राइसेस कम होंगे। तो एक हमारा ये मानना है कि, मेरा ये मानना है कि आपको ज़्यादा एमएसपी देने की ज़रूरत नहीं है चीज़ों में। जो पेरिशेबल आइटम्स हैं, अब इसमें एक व्यू ये भी है कि भाई पेरिशेबल आइटम्स में हम एमएसपी कैसे देते हैं,
जी,
मगर आप सप्लाई चेन को ठीक करिए, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया। तो अगर आप वो करेंगे तो एक तो वो है कि उसमें इन्फ्लेशन जो है काफ़ी कम हो सकता है, और कंट्रोल करना चाहिए सरकार को। मेरे ख्याल से वहाँ पे थोड़ी कमज़ोरी है।
जी,
दूसरा हमारा ये मानना है, और मेरा ये मानना है, आई पर्सनली फील दैट these MSME sectors and SME sectors, they have been bleeding now for almost 8 to 10 years. And there's a very interesting report which I wanted to talk about.
Could you tell us why? So, what are the reasons behind this?
जी देखिए, दो तीन चीज़ें हैं। नंबर वन, इनको जो MSME जो हैं, और मैं जो रिपोर्ट भी आपको कोट करना चाह रहा हूँ, जिसमें हम लोग कहते हैं कि एक क्रेडिट फैसिलिटी जो है इन लोगों को आसानी से मिलती नहीं है।
जी,
और एसएमई और एमएसएमई में अगर आपने उनका क्रेडिट सप्लाई में हेल्प नहीं करी, तो कहीं ना कहीं उनका कैश क्रंच आएगा और वो उनकी प्रोडक्टिविटी को इम्पैक्ट करेगा। और अगर उनकी प्रोडक्टिविटी को इम्पैक्ट करेगा, वो कहीं ना कहीं उसकी प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी और फिर इवेंचुअली जाके एम्प्लॉयमेंट पे इम्पैक्ट आएगा उसका, क्योंकि ही विल हैव टू लेट गो ऑफ हिज पीपल।
yeah,
तो आई फील द गवर्नमेंट is not doing enough there, being as vocal about it.
okay,
A lot of jobs have been lost in the MSME space. Also, which got accentuated because of COVID. So one is that. The other thing is that this entire informal sector, an informal sector is people on the streets. They contribute to your GDP. They contribute to the cash flow in the economy. But somewhere we've not been able to address their requirements and their needs. Now, there is a survey I like to quote, which is from the Annual Survey of Unincorporated Enterprises,
okay,
which talks about the informal sector India faces in terms of the challenges that the informal sector faces in India. And I'll tell you a number, and अगर आप हैरान हो जाएंगे और आप ये वेरीफाई भी कराइएगा, 2015 से लेके 2023 तक the number of workers which have employed in the informal sector has dropped by 16.5 lakh, which is about 1.5% to 10.96 crores to 11.13. मतलब इतना ज़बरदस्त इसमें ड्रॉप हुआ है।
जी,
अब इसकी क्या वजह है? नंबर वन, जो स्ट्रीट वेंडर्स थे उनको आपने हटा दिया वहाँ से, आपने उनको रिलोकेट किया, मगर जब आपने उनको रिलोकेट किया, आपने उनको आगे बताया कि आप क्या स्किल सेट डेवलप कर सकते हैं, तो वो उस पर किसी ने उन पे nobody gave them direction to it.
no focus was given, nothing
focus was given,
specialized.
right? So I think skilling them. Today a lot of jobs are also going to be lost, because of artificial intelligence.
Absolutely,
They will take away a lot of jobs.
yeah,
Are we doing enough to educate our people, the educated people on AI? So those are some of the other questions that I feel that the government needs to work on.
What's your view on this actually? What do you think is AI going, how is it going to impact the entire, I think, economy and us as a society in the coming, say, mid to long term?
देखिए, AI तो एक बहुत कॉमन वर्ड है
जी,
अब, तो है ना, मुझे तो डर लगता है AI इस्तेमाल करने के लिए, क्योंकि सब कहते हैं भाई हम तो AI इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं।
जी।
कोई बड़ी बात नहीं, कोई बोलेगा कि नासिर सलीम को इधर बिठा दिया आपने और AI जनरेटेड बॉडी है, ये है नहीं असली। तो मेरा थॉट प्रोसेस ये है, माई थॉट प्रोसेस इज दैट AI is definitely going to come, and instead of us worrying about AI, we should use AI as an effective tool to increase productivity, rather than say computers आया इंडिया में 1980s में, जब राजीव गांधी प्रधानमंत्री थे।
जी।
कंप्यूटर ने किसी की नौकरी थोड़ी खाई, उनकी प्रोडक्टिविटी बढ़ाई। तो AI, हमारा ये मानना है, माई ओपिनियन ऑन AI इज दैट AI इज गोइंग टू हेल्प यू इंश्योर दैट यू ब्रेस इट फॉर इम्प्रूविंग आउटपुट, for getting better quality,
Okay.
for enhancing productivity.
Okay, that's interesting because there's also a lot of fear
Ji.
when it comes to AI. When you talk about fake news, to a lot of things, a lot of fake media,
Right.
a lot of things are being produced, and a lot of content, especially during sensitive times,
Absolutely.
is being spread, is being used to spread a lot of misinformation, and a lot of parties tend to benefit from it as well.
Yes.
They tend to benefit, they tend to suffer. There are two sides to it, but
Actually, this entire fake video
yeah,
is a very serious thing.
and the whole WhatsApp,
The whole WhatsApp
economy.
circulation of it. So that's a it's a very serious challenge.
yeah,
I think it's not about one party talking about Anna. I think it's the central responsibility of every member of parliament, everyone who's taken, हर इंसान ने जिसने शपथ ली, उन सबको इसके बारे में सोचना चाहिए कि आज किसी एक पार्टी के खिलाफ हो रहा है, कल उनकी पार्टी के खिलाफ ना हो जाए, उनके लीडर्स के खिलाफ ना हो जाए. How this fake narrative can be used even in the financial world
absolutely.
to drop prices, to increase stock prices. So there are multiple flaws, but there are positives also.
What would you tell us a little about the financial frauds that are happening now? Talking about AI, where they actually clone your voice and they last. Especially the older citizens are more vulnerable to this.
जी.
And आप questions पूछेंगे, call आएगा, वो बेचारे OTP बता देंगे, and so many such scams are happening. Could you tell us a little about
नहीं
that?
बिल्कुल, और मैं इसीलिए मैंने RBI की तारीफ करी.
जी.
And I feel that RBI has done a very good job. So the typical frauds that we are getting to see, and there was a very interesting note by the RBI governor also, who said that banks need to take up more action, and they need to ensure that they have better systems in place
Yeah.
to
Curb this.
kind of curb this, right? So see, I think it is being targeted to the vulnerable segment. Vulnerable segment could be both extremes.
Yeah.
Somebody who's young. My recommendation to all parents is that don't give your children, give them responsible, like we give them responsible viewing for television, give them responsible IT practices, teach them responsible IT practices.
Okay.
Because social media today is
It's a vulnerable space.
it's a very vulnerable space.
Yeah.
And it is scary. And so one is that. The second thing is that the space that we're seeing a lot of frauds, and since your specific question is more with the elderly.
Yeah.
And but there again, a lot of banks don't give you internet bank access and all that.
True.
Which
Also,
is a good thing.
if you have, say, a Google Pay or
That's
net
right.
banking, that makes you especially vulnerable.
Yes, because you can, your
Easily access.
systems can be hacked. So I think that is something which is requires a lot of, and I also feel this entire biometrics, because now with cloning happening through AI and all,
Yeah.
one needs to be very careful. So at least to the senior citizens, we're noticing that they should not do biometrics and all that.
Okay.
Because-
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
that is our recommendation, that they should stay away from biometrics for senior citizens.
That's a really surprising one. Why would you say that?
Because many a times, because they're vulnerable, they may not be that alert. I'm not trying to dissuade them or demotivate them. Some of your senior citizens on this show might say, what does he mean? But I'm saying it for the benefit of them. What if some AI generation can go and create a clone on them and use that as a biometric to hack into the systems and their
Wow.
personal data? So those are things that one need to be a little careful of. I think this entire, this digital interface that we keep talking about, this is something which requires a lot of work and more responsible, usage, because वहाँ पे बहुत leakages हैं system में. एक डेटा सैंक्टिटी का बहुत बड़ा इशू है
Okay.
जो मैं चाहूँगा कि गवर्नमेंट शुड टेक इट अप वेरी सीरियसली. गवर्नमेंट इज नॉट डूइंग इनफ देयर,
Okay.
whether it's in terms of data leakages.
So you think people are left vulnerable because everything is actually going digital when it comes to land records, or your Aadhaar has all your details, your biometrics included. So you think that not enough is being done? That's a very scary scenario.
I would say that if whatever is being done, उसका ज़्यादा उसको ज़्यादा उन लोगों को एक तो प्रचार करना चाहिए. They should talk more about it. अगर कर रहे हैं तो हमें पता नहीं चल रहा है, और अगर कम कर रहे हैं तो बढ़ाएं उसको. मेरा तो थॉट प्रोसेस ये है, क्योंकि द वे आई सी इट इज़ दैट दिस इंटायर ecosystem is accessible to everybody.
So you think the data is not safe?
I feel that
Currently.
the data can be compromised.
Wow. Okay. And how difficult do you think would it be for data to be compromised? How many steps would you break that into?
No, so while I'm not the expert in this, but I personally feel that data leakage is something which has been repeated in the past. As an opposition, we've also raised this issue.
Okay.
And Aadhaar, I must tell you now, Anna, has biometrics that can be used for lock-in. You can lock in your biometrics with an OTP. So that's one level of security which has been added over the last few years in Aadhaar. But I think many more such
Measures need to be
measures
taken.
need to be taken. And I think, again, it's, well, of course, it is the responsibility of the government of the day, but it is collective responsibility. We all need to play our parts. My question to your viewers is that are they aware that you can block your Aadhaar biometrics just by click of a button?
Okay, interesting. So, Mr. Nasser, please tell us a little about, you're the SP's spokesperson. Please tell us a little about the party's agenda. Also, you're a part of the manifesto committee. Please
Yes.
Elaborate a little on what the agenda of the party is. What are some aspects that they'll be covering?
So, Anna, yes, I am a spokesperson, as I told you, and that's the way I am willing to contribute towards building the nation. So, 2-3 key points there. I think it's a party which follows the principle of secularism.
Okay.
I meet enough people in the party, and I find them from diverse backgrounds. There are people from different faiths. And it's a great platform to kind of interact and have a great communion of thoughts. Number two, I think the party under the leadership of Shri Akhilesh Yadav, because of, I've never had the opportunity to work or engage with his father. But as far as he is concerned, he seems to be a man who pushes for infrastructure.
Okay.
One of the few things that we spoke about
Yeah.
at the beginning, and I think he does have a vision. For now, he has a vision for UP, and then he has a vision for the country. And I think socialism can coexist with capitalism. There is a faith that if you're a capitalist, you can't have socialism on the other side, and if there's socialism, then you can't have capitalism. I think I disagree with that. When you're creating a Lucknow-Agra expressway or a metro in Lucknow, or creating new thermal power plants, creating power generation, a dial 100, giving better efficiency to the UP police. You're using capital resources
True.
and distributing it amongst the members of the public. So what have you done? इंफ्रा से आपने कैपिटल लिया, वो कैपिटल इस्तेमाल करके आपने इंफ्रा को लगाया, इंफ्रा से आपने बेनिफिट पब्लिक को दिया, और उसके साथ एक पूरी साइकिल शुरू हो गई, कंजम्पशन, प्रोडक्शन, एलाइड नौकरियां पैदा हुई. तो that is the other ideology I feel that the party is pushing towards. The
Okay.
agenda
And that's
of-
also in, if you look at the national scheme of things, or is it just for UP?
No, see, for now, obviously, we are a regional party.
Yeah.
But of course, the endeavor and the ambition for the national president is to ensure that we become from a regional to a national party, which is why the recently concluded Maharashtra elections, you may have seen we won 2 seats.
Yes.
So there's
Congratulations
representation.
on that.
Thank you very much. So there's representation happening there as well. Obviously, UP remains our forefront
Yeah.
of the agenda that we wish to run, and I think the third thing that I would want to say. So first thing was secularism. Second was socialism with capitalism coexist, and the third thing is, and if I can say this is, the party stands for the last man standing, which is what I told you at the beginning also. That who would imagine somebody born in a poor family of farmers and of a particular caste ends up becoming a chief minister?
Yeah.
But
That's a rare feat for sure.
yeah, and here is a party which did that, and it's got all representation, whether it's different castes, different religions, diversity between men and women. So it's a good mix, and I think that is another agenda which is very, very strongly being pushed as far as SP is concerned.
Okay.
Farmers, I think that's again something which is a very important point.
So, what do you think, coming to Delhi, since you are based in Delhi, what do you think that the government, the state government, as well as the center are doing? Do you think they're doing enough for the overall pollution and the water crisis?
Not at all. I mean, I'm sure they are wanting to do something about it,
Yeah.
but it is a complete, it's a missed opportunity. We need to think out of the box. They should invite environment specialists globally, domestically, to see how we can address this issue. I don't know if you are aware, I read an article which said that Delhiites are smoking, the pollution today is equal to 40 cigarettes a day.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy if you think about it.
It's suicidal, in my
Absolutely.
opinion. And I think this is the time when all think tanks, including the government, should put up a very, very strong plan, an executable plan, not just on paper, to ensure that we achieve, whether it is the Namami Gange project, which is the river cleaning project,
Yeah.
whether it is cleaning of the Yamuna, whether it is of in the environment hazards that are being created because of pollution. I think not enough is being done. And again, as collective responsibility, as an opposition, we also feel we can do more in our own bit.
Do you want to talk a little about the road scenario, like the broken roads everywhere, and the fact that it's not been, no work has been carried out in
And
the past?
I come from a I would say times I feel now a little old, but I come from times when everything was, we had broken roads all over. रोड्स की अब स्थिति बहुत अच्छी हो गई है,
Wow.
बेटर हो गई है एज कम्पेयर टू द लास्ट 15 years. और इम्प्रूव हो सकती है, बिल्कुल हो सकती है, मगर अगर आप, और मैं उसका एक बेनिफिट एक सरकार को नहीं दूंगा, मैं
जी.
सबने काम किया. हम लोगों ने, समाजवादियों ने 12 और 17 के बीच में 4 लेनिंग ऑफ डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स करी यूपी में, जो भी बड़े बड़े डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स थे
जी.
जो हमने जोड़े, हमने उसकी 4 लेनिंग कराई. दिल्ली में जब कांग्रेस की सरकार थी तो उन्होंने रिंग रोड में अच्छा काम किया. अब आम आदमी पार्टी ने आके उसको थोड़ा आगे बढ़ाया, उसमें भी काम किया, उन्होंने रोड सफाई करी है, रोड्स ठीक हुए. और एक्सप्रेसवेज की बात करें, आप तो दुनिया भर देख रही है, चाहे वो लखनऊ आगरा एक्सप्रेसवे हो या बाकी दूसरे भी एक्सप्रेसवेज हों, तो उसमें तो खैर आई थिंक इम्प्रूवमेंट हुई है. और आई एम वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट दैट मस्ट कंटिन्यू एंड विल कंटिन्यू.
Okay. What are your views on Trump being elected as president, and how do you think it's going to be impacting us as Indians?
देखिए, very interesting question है ना. And you see, Trump is like a trump card. You don't know which way it'll flip.
That's an interesting way to put it.
Trump is like a trump card. But I think, given the fact that uh, he enjoys a good relationship with India, uh, it may be beneficial for India in the medium to long term.
And what do you think, in what ways exactly will India be impacted?
Tell you.
The good and the bad both.
So one is that I think, today in the US, people, at least Indians who are working there on H-1B visas, they're very worried because they feel that he will come out and cancel the H-1B visas,
Yeah,
and because
future's
he's looking
insecure.
at more internal than external. He's more in house than out house, and out of the house. But what we feel is that this entire China plus one,
Yeah.
which we've been hearing about. See, it is evident that he's not very fond of certain Southeast Asian countries.
Fair enough.
And he will push for a quid pro quo status where he will say, okay, fine, if I allow you H-1B visas to be granted to people from India, maybe he'll tell Indians to import from the US. Now, I think because he doesn't like a certain other part of the country in this part of the continent. So that could be advantage India, but India should not miss the opportunity there. And I said the Indian government has to be very, very active and very, very, very nimble, fast foot, फटाफट move करें to capture that opportunity. Because बहुत दूसरे जो देश हैं वो भी wait कर रहे हैं.
And what do you think India can actually do to capture this opportunity?
So see, I think one is defense, because
Okay.
Trump has been openly saying that if you see his statements before he lost in 2020 to the NATO countries, he said, defense budget should be increased,
Yeah.
more money should be spent on defense. So defense as a sector is somewhere where India can pitch to him to say that, look, we have the necessary resources, land, labor, and capital. We can give you enough land. We have available abundance of labor. There's an unemployment crisis in India.
Yeah.
Come invest in our land. We'll help you manufacture those defense equipments. So I guess that is one sector which we can definitely benefit from. The other quick sector, in my opinion, is civil aviation. A lot of, right now we are in a duopoly as far as India is concerned between Air India and Interglobe. America may be wanting to get more flights inside. We should, on the contrary, push for more flights, our flights, and Indian carriers going to the US as well.
Okay.
So that's another area where we can work on. Number 3, this entire AI and internet, software, information technology. I think those are spaces where we can build a great, great team. Because most of these IT specialists who have studied from India are working in the US.
Yeah, the brain drain.
So
True.
my question to them is that, listen, if they are working out of the US, why can't we get those jobs in India and US come and hire people from here?
Yeah. I think there has been some investments that have been approved more recently. You'd be
Yes.
aware
Yes.
of that.
Yes. So there are agreements in place
Yeah.
which are happening, and I think that will take shape. But I think these are some of the sectors where we feel the Trump administration can help,
Help us as
and at equal footings.
Yeah.
To say, because we can't treat. I mean, they can't be treated. They should not treat us as like their sister. It has to be on equal footing.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so I'd like to ask you what you typically do as a professional wealth management practitioner.
Anna, thank you for asking that question. We basically help to achieve people's financial goals and objectives.
Okay.
In a nutshell. By regulation, we have a role in which we help you to identify at the gaps
All right.
in your financial journey or in one's financial journey, and address those gaps with all regulated instruments available in the financial domain in a nutshell. Um, I'll give you one or two examples. Not everybody can have one common or the same financial objective.
Fair enough.
Somebody who's young can take more risk. Somebody who's middle age
Would be
Can
slightly
take-
risk averse.
risk but with lesser volatility. Somebody who's senior in terms of age, who's a senior citizen, the appetite mostly goes down in terms of risk. And this entire life cycle creates the opportunity for one to how to manage those objectives. And that is the creation of a plan around each of those life cycles that we specialize in. We don't do product recommendation. Product happens at the last stage.
All right.
It's more, we understand our customers. We understand what kind of risk tolerance they have. We understand their end objectives, their medium term, short term, long term. And then work around consultative engagement with them, with their family members to achieve
Those financial goals.
an objective for them
Okay.
financially.
All right. So, some advice that you'd like to give to the Indian youth and our viewers?
बिल्कुल एब्सोल्युटली. देखिए, सबसे पहली चीज़ तो मैं ये बोलना चाहूँगा कि अभी जो मार्केट टूट रही है क्योंकि डिस्काउंट सीजन चल रहा है, तो विंटर डिस्काउंट प्री विंटर डिस्काउंट है अभी,
Okay.
तो घबराए नहीं और निवेश करना है तो लॉन्ग टर्म करिए. One recommendation to the youth is this is my I keep talking about this on other media platforms also, is पैसा जो है जल्दी नहीं बनता है. Money is not made quickly. Money is only made with patience, perseverance, and a lot of hard work. My simple suggestion is start putting in monthly. There's something called an SIP, a systematic investment plan. Don't think big. Start small. A number that is small today, gradually over the years will become superb over the years to come. एंड इसी से मुझे एक एग्जांपल याद आया जो मैं हर बार कोट करता हूँ. मैं आज आपके सामने फिर कोट करूँगा ना.
बिल्कुल.
वो ये है कि अगर आप 2003 में जाएं, उस टाइम मारुति का एक IPO आया था. मारुति सुजुकी जो फेवरेट गाड़ी अभी जो कंपनी है, और वो IPO आया था उस टाइम. मारुति डिलक्स कार जो थी उसकी कीमत, द वैल्यू ऑफ मारुति कार डिलक्स 800 वाज 2.5 lakhs. अगर आपने एक डिलक्स गाड़ी खरीदी होती उस टाइम, 2002 या 3 की बात है, ये 3 की बात है, और वही पैसे आपने गाड़ी के बजाय मारुति कंपनी के स्टॉक्स में लगाए होते उसके इनिशियल पब्लिक ऑफरिंग में, IPO में, तो आज उसकी वैल्यू क्या होती है आपके हिसाब से? ना मैं आपसे सवाल पूछता हूँ.
I'd say maybe at best, maybe 20 times or 30
तो
times.
नंबर बताइए, क्या हो नंबर होगा आपके हिसाब से? 20
मान
टाइम्स
लीजिए, what was the price of a Maruti stock?
2.5 लाख रुपए.
ठीक है, 2.5 लाख को आप into 30 कर दीजिए. मेरी मैथ्स थोड़ी वीक है तो आप ही बताइए.
2.5 into 30. So basically what you're saying is about 70 lakhs हो गया.
Roughly.
Yeah. तो आज उसकी वैल्यू जो है is about 11 crores.
Wow. Okay.
तो जो गाड़ी आपने
ना खरीद के
ना
इन्वेस्टमेंट कर दिया
खरीद के
होता.
आपने इन्वेस्टमेंट कर दिया होता IPO में, तो आज उसकी वैल्यू 11 करोड़ होती.
Okay, that's interesting.
हमने 2.5 लाख को 30 से मल्टीप्लाई किया तो 70 लाख के आसपास आपका नंबर था. आपने 30 टाइम्स बोला, अगर इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग.
Yes, absolutely.
30 टाइम्स इनटू 2.5 इज मोटा मोटा 70 लाख रुपए होगा. आपकी वैल्यू आपके हिसाब से अच्छी थी कि 30 टाइम्स से मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया आपने. मगर आप देखिए पावर ऑफ कंपाउंडिंग कहाँ ले जाती. तो 30 इंटू 2.5 इज 75 लैक्स. मैं आपको कह रहा हूँ 11 करोड़ रुपए. तो इतने सालों में अगर 2 चीज़ें इसमें सीखने को मिलती हैं. एक पेशेंस, दूसरा पढ़ के लगाइए पैसा, तीसरा हिम्मत मत हारिए जब मार्केट टूटती है.
I have a question,
Ji.
a counter
Please.
question actually. What if you're talking about the best case scenario or a good scenario? So what
Long
if
term scenario.
long term scenario? अगर मारुति का स्टॉक ना खरीद के someone would have actually invested in the index, then what would the returns have been like?
वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन है ना. एंड आई टेल यू, मैं ज़्यादा दूर नहीं जाऊंगा. इंडेक्स आपने बात करी तो हम, अगर आप सेंसेक्स की बात कर लेते हैं, 1979 में इसकी बुनियाद हुई और पिछले 45 सालों में इसने 14% का CAGR, मतलब कि हर साल एवरेज इसने 14% CAGR का नंबर दिया है. और मैं आपको यही बता रहा हूँ, कोई बड़े बड़े फंड मैनेजर आते हैं, हम जैसे कोट और पैंट पहन के आते हैं और आपको बड़ी बड़ी बातें बताते हैं मार्केट्स पे. मगर अगर आपको कुछ समझ में नहीं आता, सीधे इंडेक्स फंड खरीदिए, मगर खरीद के उस पर डटे रहिए, SIP करिए, लॉन्ग टर्म वेल्थ क्रिएशन की बात सोचिए और पेशेंस रखिए.
मतलब इन्वेस्ट करें और भूल जाएं.
इन्वेस्ट करिए, और मैं ये तो नहीं बोल सकता कि भूल जाइए, मगर ज़रूर उसको आप, मतलब आप पेशेंटली उसको देखिए. क्योंकि देखिए, जिस दौर से हम लोग गुजर रहे हैं, इंडिया इज़ गोइंग थ्रू अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग पॉइंट ऑफ इन्फ्लेक्शन,
Okay.
एंड यू हैव टू पार्टिसिपेट इन दैट जर्नी. एंड इफ यू पार्टिसिपेट इन दैट जर्नी, you will surely be rewarded.
Wow. All right.
But that reward should not be in expectation of short term gains. शॉर्ट टर्म में कभी पैसे नहीं बने, ये मैं आपको बता सकता हूँ. और जहाँ जहाँ जिसने शॉर्ट टर्म में पैसे बनाने की कोशिश करी है, वो उस दलदल में फंसे हैं. अगर आपके पास लॉन्ग टर्म वेल्थ का अपॉर्चुनिटी बनाने का है, अगर आपके पास पेशेंस है, और आप अगर कहीं ना कहीं अपने कैपिटल को इस्तेमाल करके रिस्क में डाल सकते हैं, तो बिल्कुल करिए और निवेश करें और सिस्टमैटिकली करें.
Okay.
और पढ़ लिख के करें, व्हाट्सएप यूनिवर्सिटी पे ना जाएं. मेरा आपसे ये रिक्वेस्ट है.
I have another question on that. So basically, if someone is to invest, say, an X amount of money today, for how long will they have to wait to actually see the fruits of their patience? 5 साल 10 साल आप
नहीं, देखिए
क्या बोलेंगे?
देखिए, ये जर्नलिस्ट क्वेश्चन है, थोड़ा
जी.
जनरल क्वेश्चन है, बट मैं इसको थोड़ा सा, इफ यू अलाउ मी,
Of course,
आई
please
लाइक
do.
टू चेंज इट. आई मीन नॉट चेंज इट, बट लाइक ट्राई टू आंसर इट
Elaborate a
माय
little, sure.
elaborate my own way. देखिए, इन्वेस्टमेंट्स इज अ सब्जेक्ट ऑफ रिस्क एंड रिटर्न.
Yeah.
In our parlance, what we call is something called risk-adjusted return. It is a function of time horizon. It is a function of your personal risk-taking
Capacity.
capability and capacity. It is also a function of the environment that you are in. The general thumb rule is that 100 minus age should be your equity allocation.
100 minus
Age.
age. Okay.
So supposing if मान लीजिए I am 30, तो 70% का जो है एलोकेशन इक्विटी में हो सकता है. ये जनरल व्यू है, क्योंकि सवाल जनरल है तो मैं आपको जनरल पर्सपेक्टिव से बताऊँ. और इस 70% पे आप इक्विटी में निवेश कर सकते हैं, मगर इस पे आपका ये होराइजन होना चाहिए कि अगर निफ्टी 14% दे रही है, तो अगर हम किसी एक प्रोफेशनल हमारे जैसे से कुछ इनपुट ले लें, या हमारे जैसे से अगर हम कुछ सपोर्ट ले लें या सर्विस ले लें, तो ये 14 का 15 तो नहीं, मगर 14 का 17 18 कम से कम, जहाँ पे 3 से 5% का अल्फा अगर बन जाए हर साल सालाना, तो एक अच्छा अपॉर्चुनिटी जो है
हो सकती है.
हो सकती है. एक अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटी आपको मिल सकती है.
All right.
और वही आपका उद्देश्य होना चाहिए. क्योंकि देखिए, ये जो पिछले 3 साल में जो मार्केट ने दिया है कमा के, ये थोड़ा, मैं अनरीजनेबल तो नहीं कहूँगा, क्योंकि उसके पहले मार्केट नहीं चली थी, मगर मैं ये कहूँगा कि उसने अपने 3 साल में जो उसने कमा के दिया, उसने अगले 2 साल में पहले आपको कमा के दे दिया. तो वो रफ्तार से नहीं चल सकता है.
Fair enough.
तो मानना ये है कि, हमारा ये मानना है कि अगर आप धीरे धीरे निवेश करें, सिस्टमैटिकली करें, तो निफ्टी अगर आपको 14-15 दे रही है, तो एक्सपेक्टेशन इतना ही होना चाहिए आपको.
Okay, interesting.
बट मिनिमम 5 years एंड अबव.
5 years and above.
इक्विटी की बात करो, 100 माइनस एज, इक्विटी एलोकेशन 5 years एंड अबव.
All right. Also, what's your view on bonds actually? What do you think that's a financial tool most recommended to? What are the kind of people that you'd recommend it to?
देखिए, I'm very happy you're asking very interesting questions which concern my field. देखिए, there is a misnomer I must wish to clarify to you, and now that bonds are completely risk-free.
That's what's normally believed to the common.
But I must tell you, it has higher risk than equity.
Wow, okay.
It is exactly the opposite.
That's a surprise. Please tell us
Yes,
more about that.
Sure. Bonds is basically आप और मैं एक लेन देन में आते हैं.
जी.
मैंने आपसे पैसा लिया क्योंकि मुझे पैसे की ज़रूरत है और मैंने उसके बदले आपको बॉन्ड दे दिया, बॉन्ड पेपर दे दिया. बॉन्ड का मतलब ये तो जेम्स बॉन्ड की बात हो रही है. बॉन्ड का मतलब ये होता है कि आपने एक बॉन्ड पेपर इशू किया.
जी.
तो आपने मुझे पैसों की ज़रूरत है, मैं आपके पास आया और आपने कहा कि ठीक है, मैं निवेश करूंगी नासिर आपके साथ, आप बदले में क्या देंगे? तो मैं आपको एक प्रॉमिस देता हूँ,
प्रॉमिसरी नोट. जी.
कि मैं प्रॉमिस और एक बॉन्ड पेपर के तहत कि मैं आप जब मेरे पास पैसे होंगे और इस टर्म्स में कि सालाना 6%, 8%, 9% का रेट ऑफ रिटर्न हो, हर क्वार्टर में आपको पेमेंट कर दूं, तो उसके कंडीशंस होते हैं. तो वो बॉन्ड होता है. वो बॉन्ड, और उसको जब सबमिट किया जाता है वो बॉन्ड पेपर होता है. तो मैंने आपको बॉन्ड पेपर दे दिया, वो तो एक प्रॉमिस ही है. फ़र्क ये है कि वर्बल की जगह वो लिखित है.
जी.
तो अगर हम लिखित में आपको मैं दे रहा हूँ तो आपके पास रिकॉर्ड्स क्या है भाई? अगर मेरे पास तो पैसे ही नहीं है, अगर मैं बैंकरप्ट हो गया तो आप मुझे जेल भेज सकती हैं, आप कोर्ट जाएंगी, आप लंबा हिसाब किताब चलेगा, मैं बैंकरप्सी फाइल कर दूंगा, मैं कोर्ट में बोलूंगा भाई मेरे पास तो पैसे ही नहीं. कहाँ से दूं साहब? Where will I give you the money? How will I make good of the bond that I've given you, of the promise, when I have become bankrupt? I have filed for bankruptcy.
That's a scary scenario.
So that's a scary scenario. So, my understanding and my recommendation to all youngsters is that bond carries a binary risk. या तो आपको पैसे मिलेंगे या तो नहीं मिलेंगे. इक्विटी में पैसे हर टाइम मिलेंगे और हो सकता है कि कम मिले या ज़्यादा मिले.
All right. Okay.
मोस्टली इक्विटी में आपको पैसे मिलते हैं. ये हो सकता है कि आपके निवेश से, जो आपने निवेश किया उससे कैपिटल वैल्यू से कम हो जाए, तब आप लॉस कहते हैं उसे, यू कॉल इट अ लॉस. बट इफ इट्स बियॉन्ड योर कैपिटल देन यू कॉल इट अ गेन. सो एट द एंड ऑफ द डे, equity long term always ensures that you get the average return, provided you are in the right set of instruments in equity. In bond, there's a binary risk. And remember, people say, oh, my money is safe. But how is it safe? You are basically at the behest of the guy who's promised you.
But then why do people have this common notion that bonds are safer, and people who don't want to take much of a risk tend to invest in bonds rather than equity?
देखिए, bond as an asset class, rather fixed income. अच्छा, फिक्स इनकम भी कहते हैं भाई. फिक्स इनकम का मतलब इनकम आपकी फिक्स्ड होगी तो कोई रिस्क नहीं. तो उसके दो कारण हैं. देयर आर टू रीजंस टू इट, है ना. नंबर वन, अ बॉन्ड by nature is not volatile. The prices of it don't go up and down like equity.
Okay.
But the risk remains. The underlying risk to your capital being returned back to you
are still the same.
Is higher. Is higher, exactly.
Wow, okay.
Right? But the bond prices don't go up and down on a daily basis. But the risk comes in one jolt. झटके में एक ही में साफ. Pardon me. Number two, the other quick point is that you're saying that there's a general belief. Yes, you're right. It is recommended to senior citizens, it's recommended to a lot of post-retirement people. But that is because they are originally supposed to be investing in bonds which are issued by the
RBI.
Government of India. Backed by the RBI. So in that case, if the RBI goes bankrupt, then the country shuts down.
But that would be a worst case
scenario. That would be a worst case scenario.
Okay.
So therefore, when you're investing in bonds, you have to look at who is the issuer of the bond.
Okay.
And therefore, the importance of rating, sovereign obligation kiski hai, गवर्नमेंट का बैकिंग है कि नहीं है, आरबीआई बैक्ड है कि नहीं है, और जितनी ज़्यादा बैकिंग होगी है ना, उतना उसका कम कूपन होगा. कूपन का मतलब उतना कम इंटरेस्ट रेट आपको
Fair
मिलेगा,
enough.
उतना कम इंटरेस्ट मिलेगा.
Okay.
जिसकी रेटिंग कम होगी, मतलब जिसकी रेटिंग कम और जो रिस्क ज़्यादा कैरी करेगा, उसकी इंटरेस्ट क्षमता पे करने की वो दिखाएगा कि मैं ज़्यादा आपको ऑफर पे कर सकता हूँ. जब आप किसी से बोल मिले, यू मीट समबडी इन दिस से दैट्स आई विल गिव यू अ 14% बॉन्ड, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया इज ओनली गिविंग यू 6%. दैट इज द टाइम टू आस्क अ क्वेश्चन.
Why?
Why and how and where. So that is the essence of the bond.
Okay, so coming to our last question, could you please talk a little about, with your professional experience combined with politics, what do you think are some of the things that can be done for a better nation building?
No, great. So thank you again for the opportunity, Anna, and I think it's been a pleasure, great discussion, and I think that brings us to the most important point, most important question of the day. I think first and foremost, if I can say this, and I say this more as a member of the public, responsible commentary. Don't divide and rule. And I will hold all political parties responsible. It's not just one. Everyone's involved. We have to look beyond castes. We have to look beyond religion. We have to think one nation, one team, एक हिंदुस्तान. And what I'm alluding to is that every 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, somewhere because of power, we try to divide the nation. We use means to end the beautiful culture that India has bestowed and has
Had a history of.
had a history of for so many years.
Yeah, very true.
So one is that responsible commentary. Number two, I think a lot of push towards infrastructure, and I think that is something which will not only help members of the public but will also ensure employment generation, will also ensure public-private partnership, will also ensure annuity for the government for the years to come, will also ensure overall livelihood index increasing.
Okay.
In addition to that, the last man standing and the people who have not been able to get benefits, whether it's of this government or the previous governments, we have to think about them and how we can reach them, and not at a superficial level. So as I said, if every one of us today helps to decide one family member in any family, one member in every family whom you can bet yourself, and then you tell 5 others to identify.
Okay, I have actually a follow-up question on this. Don't you think there's a trend wherein the political parties, they're doing what they're doing, but they also expect like an individual to be doing their bit? People would do whatever they can on an individual basis. Some would not.
Yes.
But don't you think we've elected a government, or we get political parties and leaders, make them win elections so that they can do the job for us? Whoever wants to do it on an individual basis will of course do it. But everyone does not believe in that. People already do enough. If not enough, the people definitely do their bit on a personal capacity. For example, charity is in different forms in all religions, and people tend to do whatever they can, like whether it's helping your domestic help, the children study further, or in small little ways. I think we all tend to do things. So don't you think that it's sort of passing the buck onto the consumer itself who's got you in power? so to say?
No, it's a very intelligent question and it's a tricky one to answer. But look, I mean, I completely agree with you. But at the end of the day, it's a collective responsibility. It cannot be, I mean, it has to begin from within. That's the foremost point that I'm trying to tell you. Elected representatives को आप चुन के भेजते हैं ताकि वो काम करें, वो तो देखिए सिस्टम सदियों से चला आ रहा है.
बट ना ये हमें बताएं
हाँ,
कि उनका काम कैसे करें हम.
नहीं, वो आपकी बात सही है, बट देखिए उनके पास तो एक सिस्टम ड्रिवन प्रोसेस है कि भाई आपके पास एक एमपी का लैट फंड आता है या एमएलए का लैट फंड आता है, आप रोड का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ठीक कराइए, आप ये कराइए, वो कराइए.
जी.
मेरा ये मानना है कि अगर आपको उनसे काम निकलवाना है, अगर आपका सवाल ये है,
जी.
तो आजकल सोशल मीडिया है, उसका इस्तेमाल करिए.
Okay, that's an interesting take. You're saying that people should be more active online in whatever capacity they can.
इन whichever capacity.
Okay, all right.
आप अगर जो सबसे पिछड़ा है, अगर आप उसकी आवाज़ बुलंद कर दें, तो कहीं ना कहीं वो उसको आवाज़ उस इलेक्टेड रिप्रेजेंटेटिव के पास पहुंचेगी.
So you're asking the youth of India to be more politically active in a smaller way, however they can, and they find convenient.
Small distinction there, na, more active for nation building.
For nation building. Okay.
When I help the last man standing, you are not helping him. You are helping him and his other family members, which is contributing towards a better nation.
Interesting.
That is the thought process with which I would at least like to address this.
Okay.
Right? Because there's nothing else which is more important. If that guy or if that one family member becomes educated, you see what impact he will create in his future generations and on his existing family members.
So that would be the conclusion of this conversation, and that is Nasir Salim with us.